What's up guys, it's Light Spiral here, and today I'm going to be showing you my R5 team. So I'll be doing a public match, so hopefully I actually end up with two guys that can raid, because sometimes when you do public matches, you'll get a lobby where one of the guys can't do it, or two of the guys can't do it, and I can't tank out two heads. So if my teammate dies, then I'm going to die with him, and if I can even find a party, I might have to. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I might have to use support, like friend support. So I'll make the gamble that this guy or these two guys can do it. Well, never mind. One of them left, but maybe this guy can do it. Okay. So you can see the front line right here is the Fire Panda and Diaz, and the back line Colleen, Lisa, Chasun, Hua. It's a very common team. A lot of people run this, or at least stuff similar to it. And there's a reason for it. It's a really good team. Every debuff that you can apply to the boss, other than branding, has two different appliers on this team. So, for example, defense break, the Fire Panda and Diaz do. Heal block, Diaz and Colleen. Attack break, Fire Panda, Colleen, and Diaz. Speed debuff is Zhangfei and Hua. Glancing hit is Lisa and Chasun. So you've got every debuff like twice, so hopefully they'll land pretty often. So that's why it's pop. And then the front line, the Fire Panda and Diaz are both super tanky, and they don't need to be ruined fast. So it's easy to make a two-man front line that will actually work. And then the back line, you can ruin them with speed. So it works pretty nice. It is a solo cleanser team, so you do need your cleanser to be pretty fast and on violent. My Lisa cleanses just fine. She's got max skilled third skill, and then 205 speed and violent set, as well as my Sky Tribe totem is maxed. So you should note that, as well as my solo cleanser is on max resistance if we have a 30% resistance lead, which is extremely common. And if no one else is running it, then Diaz has a resistance lead that's 30%. So you can run the Diaz lead if you do need it. There's two healers on this team. Well, kind of three. I'll show you the runes on them. Here's my Colleen. She's on a violent with plus 92. And then my Chasun, who's on a violent with plus 96. And these two are able to keep the team healed, as well as this panda does have a heal on a second skill, but it's a buff and the boss will strip it a lot of times, so I wouldn't rely on it. And also he has like no speed, so he never puts it up really. But violent, whatever, plus 90 speed on both Colleen and Chasun will do the job, as well as you want at least one of these two to be on 70 resistance, just in case your team gets stunned and you need a heal. Hopefully at least one of them will be able to heal your team. So in this case, I have my Chasun with the resistance. My Colleen, you can see, does not have resistance, because Colleen I decided to get accuracy for, whereas Chasun I decided I didn't really care about accuracy that much. I'll just get the resistance. So I'll show you the runes on everyone really quick, and just point out what you should want to go for when, like, which stats to look out for if you're trying to replicate it. On the Zhangfei, just look at the defense and the HPs. He's super tanky and he can survive the front line. Preferably you could get a little more accuracy. I've heard that R5 you need 15 accuracy, 30 accuracy, and 45. So I don't know which one is the right one. I've heard all three of those. But so if it is 15 that you need, then I've got it. But if it's 30 or 45, I don't. So preferably you could get some more accuracy on it. Here's my Diaz, who actually does have max resistance. I feel like that's kind of just a coincidence, but it doesn't hurt at all. He's got 30 accuracy, so unless it's 45, then he's got good enough accuracy. But the main things to look out for is the HP and the defense. He's not as tanky as my panda, but he still is able to survive okay and do what he needs to do. So that's that. Colleen, the stats to look out for is she has enough accuracy, whatever, even if it's 45, she's got enough. She's fast, and then she's got these stats are enough for her to survive on the back line. And she's on Violent Revenge. You don't really need Revenge, but I definitely recommend Violent. So that's that. Here's my Hua. It's got enough accuracy for whatever, whatever it is. It's pretty fast. It's got a little damage and a little crit rate, and then it's tanky enough to survive. These stats right here is enough to make Hua tank out R5. I'll back out of this game and I'll show you the Lisa and Chasun runes. And so the runtime on this, I feel like it's not really fair to say what a runtime is in Raid because you have two other teammates that contribute to it. But this, if your whole team is going to be running, like if all three people run this team, it will be pretty slow. So, because the only damage dealer is Hua. So here's my Lisa. I showed you the Lisa earlier, but note that it's got max resistance, and then it's 205 speed, and this amount of HP and defense is enough for it to survive, as well as it's on a violent set. If you're using this team exactly, you need a violent and a fast Lisa, and you need it on max resistance too. So then my last one right here is Chasun. Stats to look out for: max resistance. It's almost 200 speed, and this amount of HP and defense is enough for it to survive, and it's on a violent set. So I do think R5 you need to be pretty good to do it, but I would say on R5 you want your healers and cleansers on violent, and other than that I don't actually recommend violent because the boss has one of its skills does more damage based on how many turns you get. But so if you have your Fire Panda getting a ton of turns, then he's not going to be doing anything with those turns, but he will be making the boss do more damage. So it's best to just make it your healers and cleansers on Violent at first, at least. When you're moving into speed teams, I don't know, maybe Violent is good. I haven't gotten there yet. But that is my Raid team. Like I said, it's pretty standard. If there's any questions, comments, or concerns, just tell me in the comments because I don't know if I forgot something or whatever. But if there's any other videos you want to see, you can also mention that in the comments. But that's really all I have for today, though, guys. So may the best year today's be the worst year tomorrow's.